Hello guys, I'm Kiri, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about E30 BMW M3 AC Schnitzer. This is very interesting car from the BMW tuning specialist AC Schnitzer because it was like kind of predecessor of the BMW E30 M3 Sport Evolution. The company AC Schnitzer is based in North Germany near Belgium in Aachen. The founders, Willy Koh and Herbert Schnitzer, started the business in 1987, but before that they had a great experience at the racetrack, especially the German DTM. They were updating many road legal BMW cars back on the late 80s, transforming them into a serious sports cars, like BMW's Series 5, 6, 7, but the most cool of all of them was the Series 3 BMW based on the BMW M3. In 1988, AC Schnitzer started to produce DTM spec race cars based on the BMW E30 M3. The car was with revised aeropack, different front and rear bumpers, and of course spoilers, underdoor side skirts, even just one wiper, which was up straight, of course, like the racing DTM cars, again for more aerodynamic efficiency. Completely different suspension settings, lowered to 20mm, and more hard obviously, updated brakes to improve the stopping power, different wheels and different tires. Actually, there were two options for the tires and wheels, 16-inch and 17-inch. The 16-inch were BBS RS unit, but the 17-inch were AC Schnitzer in-house design and very cool, like in the car here in front of us today. This was about the exterior, but now the most interesting was under the hood. Of course, the engine was based on the already very reliable and powerful BMW M3, but was updated and improved. The original M3 engine is 4-cylinder inline 2.3 liters natural aspirated, high revving 16 valves, producing 195 horsepower. AC Schnitzer brought the capacity to 2.4 liters, to be precise 2431 cc, and actually they changed everything, so the result was 245 horsepower. Just amazing power, consider that a little bit over 1100 kilograms. And with all package, this was very serious in the late 80s. It's not very well known as a Alpina versions, but I think it's more track focused car than Alpina. It's made to deliver more joy on the road. So probably this car, E30 BMW M3 AC Schnitzer, is even more desirable than any E30's BMW M3 or M3 Sport Evolution or even Alpinas. Even the car was something like a pre-production for the M3 Sport Evolution, because we saw later BMW updated the M3 to M3 Sport Evolution, which was similar looking to the AC Schnitzer, with similar power. The engine for the M3 Sport Evolution was updated to 2.5 liter as well, so really BMW copied this car for them. AC Schnitzer were doing tuning not only on BMW M3, but on normal E30 cars as well, which are very cool and sporty. How we said earlier, the AC Schnitzer E30 M3 was based on the standard M3, which was based on the regular E30 Coupe two-door car. The original M3 E30 was in production from 1986 to 1991, when was replaced then E36. 2.3 or 2.5 liter engines were fitted, and just 5-speed manual dogleg gearbox. The Schnitzer was with 2.4 liter 2431 cc, same 5-speed dogleg gearbox, manual of course, dogleg mean first left and down. Many homologation special cars on that time were using this type of gearboxes because the racing cars long time ago been using mostly second and third gear, which are in line on the dogleg gearbox pattern, so it was much more easy to change the second and third gear. The wheelbase is unchanged from the standard car, 2 meter 562 mm. The car is long 4 meter 345 mm and is wide 1 meter 680 mm. The car is high just 1 meter 350 millimeters, so some 20 millimeters lower than the standard M3. We said earlier about the curb weight is just over 1,100 kilograms. The standard BMW E30 M3 is 1,160 kilograms. BMW was intending to build 5,000 E30 M3 cars because this was the requirement to homologate the race car, but on the end was so successful and they ended up with just under 18,000 cars. We don't know how many cars had been converted to SCHNITZER spec, but for sure there are not many. The drag coefficient was very similar to the M3 Sport Evo, so 0.33, which is actually low. It's a front longitudinally mounted 4-cylinder inline engine and rear wheel drive only. Two-door coupe was not option for 4-wheel drive like the very new BMW M3s and M4s. Our car here today is with the optional in-house designed 17-inch wheels and rear tires 235/40/17. And believe me, with these tires and the suspension set, the car was extremely stable, and actually the experience from the track Willie Coe and Herbert Schnitzer, they just transferred to this immaculate and very desirable car. The exhaust system is all new as well, from the engine to the waste section. It's much more bigger size pipes, so the engine can breathe easily, but also the sound is incredible. Especially in high revs. The engine, how we said early, is naturally aspirated, high revving, so the sound is really absolutely joy for the ears. The racing versions E30 M3 were very reliable machines, especially the touring DTM cars. They were the best cars for many years. Screaming engines, more than 9,500 RPM. That's why we said the SCHNITZER make the car with very special racing type exhaust system, not only for more power, but for nicer racing sound as well. The car, E30 BMW M3 SCHNITZER, was designed to be very close to the original DTM racing car E30 M3, because the original DTM cars were very popular back on the 80s, 90s, and even after 2000. The popularity of the touring class cars were all around the world, not only in Europe, but in Australia, in Japan, in England. Back on the day, if you order the car from SCHNITZER in white color, and after that just apply the liveries, the sponsors, actually all the stickers, then just change the wheels with DTM 1-nap BBS, and remove the interior and leave just one sport seat, believe me, you will not make big difference between racing DTM BMW E30 M3 and this SCHNITZER car. The maximum speed is 250 km per hour or 155 miles per hour, and the acceleration from 0 to 62 miles per hour or 100 km per hour is under 6 seconds. Normal BMW M3 was accelerating from 0 to 62 miles per hour or 100 km per hour 6.8 seconds. This is absolutely top performance for 1980s, if you consider that the engine is only 4-cylinder inline 2.4 liters, naturally aspirated, so non-turbo. BMW, they had experience with small capacity engines, but big power. Even in 1980s, they entered Formula 1 with engine V6 1.5 liter turbo, and this was the most powerful engine on that time. On the free training sessions, the power was 1,500 horsepower. Imagine from 1.5 liter engine to extract 1,500 horsepower, and this we're talking about 40 years ago. But this was a turbo engine, and they had experience with naturally aspirated engines as well. The touring cars were 2.5 liters and producing more than 400 horsepower, and on the end of the BMW E30 M3 era, the engine was so aggressive and responsive, so they extract the maximum they can do. The biggest rivals on the track on that time were Mercedes 190 Cosworth or Ford Sierra Cosworth. The Sierra was 2-liter engine, so a little bit smaller capacity, but with turbocharger and intercoolers, etc. etc. E30 BMW is iconic car today. It's very highly appreciated by the real car guys, even the normal two-door cars. I was owning two of them many years ago, both of them 1983, two-door coupes. First 318i with 105 horsepower only, but short sport suspension and tires 205 5015 with Ronau, German Ronau alloy wheels. Then next year I wanted 6-cylinder car and I bought BMW E30 323i with 150 horsepower, again short suspension, BBS wheels and BBS spoilers all around. The front spoiler was BBS, rear spoiler BBS, the side skirts BBS, but on the boot lid was a badge, Hardge. This is another very famous company, Hardge. They do great jobs as well, but today I'm regretting because I sold these cars. And for me, from my experience, the 4-cylinder engine cars are much nicer to drive. They stay better on the road, they're more stable and easy to drive. The 6-cylinder engine is a little bit heavier and is understeer a little bit. So I think this, from my experience, the 4-cylinder engine cars, they're much more better. They stay better on the road. That's why probably BMW decided on 1980s to build this M3 car, but to build the 4-cylinder engine. They didn't want to choose the 6-cylinder because they knew it already that the 4-cylinder engine is much more lighter, so the car is going to be much more stable on the road. So this was probably the idea. The car needs to be very easy to drive, and on the corners, actually, the car needs to attack the corners with very high speed. But on the end, of course, I'm gonna say again, the car needs to be stable. That's why the first BMW M3 was with 4-cylinder engine, and then they changed to, how you remember, E36 to 6-cylinder, E46 6-cylinder, and then the next generations, E90, 92 with even V8 engines, which actually was very heavy, and I don't like anymore this one. And then they move again to 6-cylinder, but I'm gonna be happy if next generation BMW M3 is again 4-cylinder, because I know this engine is very, very light, and the car is gonna be much more lighter and easy to drive. How was the first original generation E30 M3? So this is the car, I'm gonna say again, which was very, very near, very close to the original DTM racing car BMW E30 M3. How you can see from this side, the car is lowered with 20 millimeters, so the car stays much more stable on the road, and the suspension is harder. Of course, here this car with the special wheels, in-house made 17-inch wheels, the rear tires 235 40 17. Believe me, the car is very light and the car is very, very stable with these suspension settings, and the tires 17-inch wheels and 235 sector on the back. And the front spoiler is very, very low, of course, so the aerodynamic is absolutely fantastic. Rear spoiler again is made for purpose to keep the car stable on the road on the backside, and is very, very brute. From this view, the car looks really absolutely fantastic. It's very low, but it's very, very beautiful. So they start to produce this BMW SCHNITZER E30 M3 in 1988. Again, I'm gonna say we don't know how many they've been converted to SCHNITZER. Probably not many, but if you see today this car on the road, is very, very rare. Really, you can't see every day this car on the road. Even you cannot see normal BMW M3 on the road. But SCHNITZER is just incredible car. Have a look the front side, very, very aggressive, and with this SCHNITZER on the grille, just the car is from different level. I'm gonna say again, it's much more than normal M3, so it's very, very serious car with 245 horsepower, and you can see the wiper, only one wiper on the screen on the front, which is up, exactly like the original BMW race DTM cars. Not only DTM, the racing cars BMW. So you can see here the wiper, just one in the middle. This is as well for aerodynamic efficient, just one wiper, and the one is deleted. Also the mirrors, they're specially designed SCHNITZER mirrors, again for better aerodynamic. How you can see here the sign on the side of the mirror, SCHNITZER. They are very near again to the DTM spec mirrors. So the car inside is not that luxury, but this car is no need to be actually luxury. All the panels of the car, they are very similar to the original BMW M3, except the bumpers, the front bumpers in the front. But we said, again, I'm gonna say, BMW after that, they updated the original M3 E30 car to M3 Sport Evolution, which actually was absolutely copy of this car. The front spoilers, the back spoilers, the bumpers, even they lowered the car. They moved from 15-inch to 16-inch wheels, so they really copied this car for them. So this is the original part, which is different than normal E30 car, BMW M3, using this for better aerodynamic. So the car is absolutely rare and absolutely joy to drive. And this color is really amazing. It suits absolutely nice for this car. So guys, I hope you liked the video about this very rare SCHNITZER E30 M3. If you like the video, please subscribe my channel and see you next time, guys. Bye.